Welcome guys, I welcome you all to today's tutorial. Today we are going to draft and cut a basic bodice pattern. With this, you will be able to cut any type of outfit by yourself. So let's get started. So here we have two types of lines. We have vertical lines and we have horizontal measurements. So vertical lines is the line we measure from your shoulder straight down to your body, while the horizontal measurements are the measurements across all over your body. So the vertical measurement here, my shoulder is 16 inches. The armhole line is 7.25 inches. So shoulder to bust point is 9 inches. Shoulder to waist 16 inches. Shoulder to hip is 24 inches. That is my full length. So the horizontal measurements, like I said before, the horizontal measurements are measurements across all over your body. So my bust circumference is 34, my waist circumference is 30, my hip circumference is 36. So let's get started. So I've already drew one line here. This is the shoulder line. This is my starting point, and this represents my shoulder line. So my shoulder line. So then after that, how we measure the armhole line? My armhole line is 7.25 inches. You will be wondering how I get my armhole line. So the formula for calculating the armhole is the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. My bust circumference is 34. 34 divided by 6 plus 1.5. It gives me 7.17. But approximately on my tape rule, I'm going to approximate it to 7.25. That is 7.5 quarter. So this is the shoulder line. This is my shoulder line. So my armhole line is 7.25. So my shoulder to bust point, you measure from your shoulder to the place of your bust point. So my shoulder to my bust point is 9 inches. So my shoulder to the waist, my shoulder to the waist is 16 inches. So the shoulder to the hip, your shoulder to the hip, my shoulder to the hip is 24 inches. So you measure your own. So wherever your own is your shoulder to hip measurements, and I have 2 inches for the folding allowance. Then I will make it to a straight line. So let me quickly make it to a straight line and show you what next. You will be wondering, how did I fold my paper? So I'm treating this as a fabric now. So I use the biggest part of my body to fold my paper. So the biggest part of my body is 36 inches. So the 36 inches, I divide my the hip circumference, that is the biggest part of my body, I divided it by 4. So it gives me 9 inches. Then I add the extra 2.5 inches for the seam allowance. So I add 3.5 inches for the seam allowance, making 12.5 inches. So make sure you always add more seam allowance to your outfit. So it's better to have loose garments than tight garment. So take note of that. So I've drew the vertical measurement, as you can see. So this is my shoulder line, and this represents my starting point. So this is the armhole line, this is the shoulder to my bust point line. So this is the shoulder to waist, and this is the shoulder to the hip line. That is my full length, and the 2 inches for the folding allowance. So my shoulder is 16 inches. So the 16 inches divided by 2 will give me 8 inches. Then I will have extra half inches to join the shoulder, 8.5. Then I will come here also to mark 8.5. Then I will make it into a straight line. So here I will draft my bust circumference here. So my bust is 34 divided by 4 plus so this is the place I will draft my bust measurement. So my bust is 34. So 34 divided by 4, it gives me 8.5. So I will add extra 2.5 inches to it, so making 11 inches. This is my 11 inches. Then for the waist, my waist is 30. So 30 divided by 4, 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. Then I will add extra 2.5 inches to it, so making 10 inches. So this is the waistline, and I will draft my waist measurements here. So the my waist circumference is 30 inches. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5, and I will have 2.5 inches to it, so making 10 inches. So this is my hip line. So this is the hip line. My hip circumference, as you can see here, my hip circumference is 36. 36 divided by 4, it gives me 9 inches plus extra 2 inches, making 11 inches. Then I will connect the line together like this. Can you see that? So for the armhole, you do it like this, and for the down part here, so here we are not going to leave it like this, because if you leave it like this, you will find out that by the time you sew your fabric, the side will be longer than the front. So in order to avoid that, we are going to make it curve like this. Can you see that? And here, make sure you make it in a curvy manner like this. you wouldn't want to have a sharp edge to make it curve like this. Can you see that? So then here, because we are drafting a basic bodice pattern, so our neckline will also be a basic neckline. So here our neck width is 3 inches. Then for the neck depth, we're going to make 3 inches also. Then you curve it like this, a round neckline. So here you find out that our shoulder is not straight. We don't have a shoulder. Our shoulder is not straight, it's slanted. So here you are going to come in by 1 inch. So the 1 inch, you are going to connect it down here. So we are going to connect it from this place to this place. So can you see that? So here, you know, this is our bust point line. So this is a cotton fabric. So you are going to take that. This is a cotton fabric. Then we use the nipple to nipple measurement to draft out our dart measurement. So from your one nipple to the nipple, you measure it, the distance between the one nipple to the other nipple. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. So you divide your nipple to nipple measurement, you divide it by 2, then you add extra half inches allowance. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. 7 inches divided by 2, it gives me 3.5. So half inches for the sewing allowance is making 4. So I'm going to measure 4 inches here. So this is my nipple to this is my bust point measurement. So I will mark 4 inches here, 4 inches here, then 4 inches here. Then we are going to make it into a straight line. So do you see that? Then here, so this is the waist dart. This is the waist, is this traditional dart. So we are going to take in half inch on both sides, half inch, half inch. So and the ear, so you are going to measure 2 inches upward. Then you are going to connect it like this. So this is your dart, this is your waist dart line. So this is your waist dart line. So this is your waist dart line. So this is the front bodies. This is the front bodies. So I will use this one to cut out, to draft the back bodies. So like this, I will draw the armhole line, the bust point, all the vertical measurements and the horizontal measurements. Then I will now show you the dart, because the dart variation for the back bodice is different and the neckline is different. So let me quickly do the vertical measurements and the horizontal measurements and show you what next. Guys, this is the back bodies, and I've drew this is the shoulder line, this is the armhole line, this is the bust point, this is the waist line, so this is the hip line, that is my full length, and the 2 inches for the folding allowance. So then I've drew the armhole curve. So I've measured my bust circumference, my waist circumference, straight down to my hip circumference, and I've curved the end of the cloth in order not to make the side longer than the front. So you have to curve it like this as I show you. So here for the back bodies, because this is the cotton fabric, I told you that I'm treating this as a fabric, so you are going to have the extra 1 inches for the zipper allowance. This is zipper allowance, so you are going to measure 1 inches. So before you start drafting your measurement, so this is the zipper allowance. So 1 inch. So this is the zipper allowance, and this is the 1 inch. As you can see, this is the 1 inch zipper allowance. So for the neck, so let me start from the neck region. So for the neck, the neck width for the front is 3 inches. So your neck width for the front and back bodies should always be the same thing. The neck depth may be vary, but the neck width should always be the same thing. Take note of that. So the neck width that I use for the front is 3 inches. So for the back, I measure 1 inches. So I want a high neck, so I'll cut it like that. Then here, that I slanted also for the front, so you are going to come in by 1 inch here. I told you that our shoulder is not straight, it's slanted, so we are going to connect it like this. Can you see that? So then for the back also, we are going to we need that for the back bodies also. Then so I measure 4 inches for the front dart. So the nipple to nipple measurement, my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. 7 inches divided by 2, it gives me 3.5. So 3.5 plus half inches, making 4 inches. So this is the 4 inches. Then you place it here also, 4 inches. Then 4 inches. So here too, here the armhole, we are going to place 4 inches here. Then you connect so. But for the back, we don't need the armhole line for the front measurement. We start from the bust point line. So for the back, you are going to draft it also on the armhole line. So the 4 inches, you are going to draft it here also. So you come up, you go down by 1 inch here from your armhole line, 1 inch here. Then here also, you go up by 1 inches. For the front we go up by 2 inches, but for the back you go up by 1 inches. Then you take in your dart, half inches, half inch here, half inch here. Then you are going to connect. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? So, and this is how to cut your back and front and back basic bodice pattern. So let me quickly cut it and show you. And for the back body, so don't forget to open your zipper allowance. I've already opened mine. And this is it on how to cut your basic body pattern. Can you see that? So this is the back. So this is it. So and this is it on how to cut your basic bodice pattern. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you all. So next time we are going to draft and cut a basic perfect sleeve, both long and short. So thanks for watching. Bye.